Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing this September the 11th, 2025. A day we remember an attack and a day we always should question, at least in my opinion, exactly what actually happened on that day, because there's a lot of things that never got answered, nor will we get into that on this channel, but we remember the great loss that September 11th, 2001 was. I was sitting in ninth grade class at the time. You can see the Bitcoin price is running even today. The Ethereum price is running even today. None of them are really doing much to note. But the big news today is the gold and silver bullion market continues to rally. Our overall portfolio is approaching 100% up on our positions overall. You can see silver's up just below 42. B2 gold is up to 444. Kinross gold is approaching within $7 of its $8 of its all-time high, or nine and change. I think it's $32 of its all-time high. We're up nearly 350% on the position. First Majestic Silver is up to nearly $10. It'll be there soon. Fortuna Silver will be at $9 and $10 soon. Pan America Silver is on its way to 40. Rivian maybe is on its way to 20 or 10, not sure yet. Barrick Gold is on its way to 35. It's almost cracking the 30. Hecla's on its way to 15. It's on a steamroll. All right, and our overall positions are doing very, very well. These are just some of our positions, and the reason we buy asset appreciating things in a dollar depreciating world, because the monetary policy of the United States has been and will continue to be a dollar devaluation via inflation, asset inflation, monetary stimulus, and up to 0% interest rates. And gold and silver bullion and mining stocks are one of the assets we buy to become an asset millionaire. First Majestic Silver, and we have two accounts. One's a retirement and one's our personal, and this is the personal side of it. You can see we are up 82.30%, or $14,000 on this end of the position. We're up about $22,000 or $23,000 up overall. You can see First Majestic is up 53%. B2 Gold on this side is up 52%. I do have 3,300 shares total. I only have 540 on the personal side. Fortuna Silver is up 61%. I have 1,050 total shares, but only 650 are on this side. Kinross Gold is up 343%. That's 343%. You heard that correctly, 343%. I don't own any Newmont Mining, but it's up 84% from when I had some. Pan America Silver is up 106%. Rivian's up 5%, for a total of 82.3% on this side. And I believe these are just getting started. Our mining portfolio, is up about $22,000 right now. Between gold and silver and mining stocks and foreign stocks, we're up right now $55,000-$60,000 on foreign stocks and gold and silver, mining stocks and bullion, right? And I believe these are going to continue to ascend. I believe silver is going to eventually hit $50, and that's where it's actually on the move to right now, and will hit before any kind of meaningful correction. And then I believe by the end of next year, and things are going to get crazy going into next year, as I believe they're going to be lowering interest rates next year, and I believe there's going to be mass inflation in the gold and silver bullion, as they just the United States made a critical, they just classified silver as a critical strategic metal, right? And you must question yourself, why are they doing that now that it's at $40? Because they see a tightening supply, and they see an increasing demand for it, right? And it's going to get very, very interesting. But the Bitcoin price is sitting just below that 3.5-year rising channel support and resistance. It's just been trading sideways, and this is either going to shoot up on the next move up. It's either going to have a big pump of a couple of $1,000, 3 to 5% back into this channel up to 118 or 120, or it's going to do the exact thing to the downside, and it's going to retest a swing low down there at 107,000 and change. So those are the two scenarios that we're watching out for in the Bitcoin price. And if we look at the Bitcoin price, you can see the Bitcoin price as the moving averages. It's just above the 50. It's got out of that squeezing zone right now with today's candle. Yesterday it tried but got rejected. Today it's trying again, and we'll see if it doesn't get rejected again. But right now it appears to be on the move, and that's what we're going to continue to watch. The Ethereum price is the same thing. The Ethereum price is either going to break out of this area right here that you're in. You can see all this heavy sell pressure in right there. It's either going to break out of that and steamroll back up towards an all-time high, or it's going to eventually run out of exhaustion here and then end up back on the neckline support right where the 50-day moving average is finally at now. So if it was going to come up here, now would be the time, as the moving average is sitting right on the neckline support. The 100-day is just above the 34.76, top part of the green support and resistance box. The 200-day is right in the middle of that box, and the bottom part of that green box is at 3,000 and change. And that's what we're looking at right now. This is either going to explode to the upside, 3 to 5%, or this is going to have a big correction to the downside, 3 to 5%. And you can see, based on the news and the volatile market data, you can see it's been choppy today. And for some reason, Bitcoin's been actually following the United States dollar today. But it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. And obviously, we're going to continue to pay attention and want to be on top of that for you. The same thing with the XLM price. You can see it actually went up from yesterday. It's still just above the 50-day moving average. And as long as it's above the 50-day moving average, it could take that purple route. If it slips the 50-day moving average in the daily time frame for any reason, it would be likely that it would want to take the southern route and retest some lower support. But right now you can see we're just above the 50, which is bullish. We're significantly clear above the 200-day moving average, right, which is sitting down here at 36 cents, just above, or 36 and a half cents, just above the 36 and even cent major underneath support. And as long as we're above the 50, you can try to make a run at that 43 cents, right? And that's where you'd want to come up to. If you slip for any reason the 50-day moving average, you would come down here really quickly back down to the 36 cents. And we're just moving through these quickly on my lunch break to try to get as many of these as we can. You can see the XRP is the same thing in the daily time frame. We are just above and clearly above safely right now, above the 50-day moving average. The 100-day moving average is just below that, and we're just below and inching upon. And we've had 3 days in a row now where we've gotten rejected right in the same area, just below this critical $3.07 horizontal left to right major overhead resistance. If we get on top of that, we can become short-term bullish again and try to make a run in at the 3.25 cents, $3.25 or higher. If we get rejected where we're at now, or by this 307 and slip to 50, you're going to come back down to the 100, likely slip the 100, and that's when I think you would come down to the 255 and potentially, and you can see now the 200-day moving average is exactly on there, sitting at 254, potentially by a bounce after that. So those are the critical areas that we're watching out for. If we look at the algo's threatening to get back into a critical support and resistance area. You can see algo is just above that 23 cents. It got back above the critical. It was below the 100-day, the 50, and the 200 the other day. You can see you formed a bottom at the beginning of September, and you're just above it now. And what you need to do now is stay above the 50 and the 23 cents, the bottom part of this red trading support and resistance zone. And then you can make a run and try to come back up towards that 35 cents. For any reason, if you fail to hold this and come down and confirm below it, you're going to initially come down to 22, and you could very quickly come all the way down into this major support and resistance area down here that is sitting at the 20 cent level. So that's something we're going to be watching. The XCN is trying to have a little bearish bounce retaliatory thing, which is to be expected. You have an extremely bearish moving average. You're about to go through a golden bearish cross where the short-term moving average is on the bottom. Come on. And the long-term moving average is on the top. You can see tomorrow they're going to have a golden bearish cross. And I still believe you're on your way down to this 0.00803 cent in red circled. And obviously your overhead resistance are the falling moving averages. XDC is the same thing. You're about to slip, and you're also about to have a bunch of bearish crosses in the moving averages. And this could be signifying, unfortunately, in the XDC, that this rejection at 16 cents was too strong. And you might be in the short term coming back down here to this 0.05 cents. And that's something that we're going to be paying attention to. The H bar had a nice retaliatory bounce after we had a rounding bottom just above the 200-day moving average. We've cleared the 50 right now. And if we're above the 50, we can continue to work our way up towards this major upper resistance. But the one thing you got to realize is, are we doing just like we did here, where we got rejected, failed, maybe here we're going to fail too. And if we failed there too and slip the 200-day moving average, does 15 cents become a major concern. 34 cents obviously is your major overhead resistance. And LCX is where we're going to end off with, because I got to get back into work. You can see right now we're sitting just above the 50 in the daily time frame, and just below the major moving average at 14 cents and the 200-day moving average. The 200-day and the 14 cents are what you need to get above to stay bullish and try to work towards the 22 cents. If you get back below the 14 cents and break below the 13 cents, that would bring in a potential big fall. But that's for another discussion on a different day. I appreciate the support. Like the channel, $3.99 a month it starts at to become Jabroni Killer members, on your way to becoming educated with truth, trust, and education to become an asset millionaire. Peace and love, the Rock Cybro, Jay.